Welcome. In this video, you are going to learn about the movie At 5 in the Afternoon by Samira Makhmalbaf. It's a wonderful movie which tells the story of a girl who wants to become the president. Do you know what happened next? Let's go and see. Before that, I want to thank you for being here. My name is Pradeep Hariharan and I am an assistant professor of English. I'll see you in the class. The goal of this video is to teach you the movie at 5 in the afternoon in the best possible manner. My goal is to help you score high marks for your exam. That is my primary goal. Since you're watching this video, I want to thank you and I promise you 4 things. I'll give you the best quality as far as possible. I do a lot of research before I publish a video on YouTube. Secondly, it's focused. It is based on the exam, purely examination point of view, point by point. I'll simplify things so that you'll get a wonderful clarity. Clarity is my third goal. And I expect a transformation from you by learning in English, understanding in English so that you can write well. So in my class is structured. It's got a 5 steps format. The first one is introduction, the second part themes. Then I'll summarize the movie. Then we will move on to the important topics like feminist tropes and finally questions. So if you don't have time, if you're a last minute student, if you just watch till introduction and themes, you will get some marks. If you are a serious student, I recommend you watch till the end and you'll be certainly benefited. So let's begin with the introduction. What is this movie is all about? Let's have a look at it. This is an award-winning movie released in 2003. It's done by an Iranian, famous award-winning Iranian, Samira Makhmalbaf. Look at the spelling, Makhmalbaf. Makhmalbaf, Samira Makhmalbaf. Don't make a mistake. If you make a mistake in the spelling, you won't get marks. That is one of the things which we look very closely. And though she is an Iranian filmmaker, the movie is set in post NATO invaded Afghanistan. That is around the year 2001 after the Kabul has been bombed by the American army. So total devastation, people moving out, migrants coming in. The movie is set in total chaos. Though it's a political movie, we only look at the female issues, women issues in the movie because it's prescribed under Voice of Women. And it's a story of Noah. It's spelling again N-O-Q-R-E-H. It sounds Noah. You know Noah. Noah is referred in Islam as the prophet, as a messenger to send the word of God. So similarly here Noah stands for female aspirations, female issues and female dreams. She becomes a representative of a whole community. And what is her ambition? She wants to become the next president of Afghanistan. So will she able to achieve the dream? The movie tells it. And the title, very important, is taken from the Spanish poet Lorca's poem, the same with At 5 in the Afternoon. Actually, it's a poem of the death of his close poet. He was died in a bullfight at 5 in the afternoon. So the title suggests the death of something and the beginning of something new. So the title is what you may call, it's an optimistic one. So some of the, what you may call, one of the major themes which we will discuss is about religious extremism in Afghanistan under the Taliban rule. So in this movie, as I said, it's a political one. We focus only on the female issues. It's all about women in the movie that you see. It's as I told you, it's a dream of a woman against what you may call dream against oppression. That is, she is oppressed by the society not to follow her dreams, but she challenges them and she aspires. By aspiring it, she becomes a symbol for a whole community. Secondly, the theme is religious extremism. There are 2 sides of religion, one done by the Taliban and the previous one. So Taliban was very stringent and you don't have to explain that part. So that is the one part of the movie. What happens to what you may call women, especially the war victims of women and condition of women in Afghanistan. So let's go and see what happens. Now we move on to the summary, very important part of this class. First we look at what you may call who are the characters. Remember, these people don't have a home. They are homeless because after the bombing of America has done, these people have to move. They are refugees in their own land, in Kabul. The location is Kabul, and a lot of migrants are also coming. So, when the movie begins, we see a father taking his daughter to the Quran class. Okay, so he has got a host card, which is his way of sustenance. Okay, and other important characters. He has got a son, Akhtar, and his daughter Noah. No, she is the central character, the protagonist. Akhtar, he doesn't appear on the movie. Actually, Akhtar has a wife, that is the sister-in-law of Noah. Her name is Leiloma, and she has a baby boy. So at the beginning, we see the father-in-law, Leiloma, the baby boy, and Noah. These are the four central characters we see. And later, a Pakistani poet as a refugee is introduced. They don't fall in love, nothing like that happens, but they are attracted to each other. So Akbar, he never appears in the movie. We later learn that he died. He's a truck driver by profession. He died in a mine blast. And what is the plot line? I'm going to give you what you may call exact plot line of this movie. It's a very interesting one. The movie begins, as I told you, Noha's journey to the Quran class. She is wearing a blue veil, traditional, conventional. She carries the big Quran in her hand. Once she goes there, we see a lot of women similarly wearing the blue veil. Suddenly, she moves out and nobody notices her. And at she steps aside, removes her burqa, and she changes her shoes. Actually, she carries a white heeled shoe, which is it is prohibited as per conventional Islamic law. She changes it and she goes to her school. And at school, its school is not like our school. It's a different one. Actually, all girls sit in an open, what you may call, open ground, and they have only one teacher, an old teacher, and students of different age, they mix together. And the teacher, she asks students who wants to become teachers. So some girls stand up. Who wants to serve the country as doctors? So some girls stand up. Then the teacher asks who wants to become the next president. So we see not many, and one girl stands up first. Second, Noah stands up. Third, another one. Then everyone starts laughing at these three girls, and one girl sit. And the first one, her name is Meena. We'll learn about her, and Noah. Both these stand. But the teacher says she appreciates them, and she says they can run for the school president first. So the class ends. Not before the class ends, they have a debate, and the girl Meena, she aggressively debates for female freedom, and the other girl says that we are not supposed to have the Taliban won't allow. So Meena asks the neighboring country, Pakistan, their president is a woman, Benazir Bhutto. Since she says others have no idea about it, and after the class, she returns home. She goes to does the veil. Her father is waiting outside. She gets in the car. He doesn't know what happened, and while returning, her sister-in-law says that the chicken has stopped laying eggs and the baby has got no food, and her breast milk has dried up and there is no food. And then we see truckloads of migrants coming from Pakistan, and they all what you may call came and settle, and Noah helps them to find a place, that is they take where they are living. And the place becomes totally crowded, and Noah's father gets irritated, and because a man listens to music in his radio, and as per the traditional Islam prohibits listening to what you may call such music, he gets irritated, and at the night he decides to move to another location. On their way, they are intercepted by the army. They ask about their whereabouts. Do you have a night secret code and all? But later they move, and the next day we see them settled in a plane, a broken plane, a war plane, and they have turned that it as their home. And one of their primary issues is to find water. Her father asks, go and fetch some water. The horse has to be given some water. The father is more concerned about the horse than his two daughters. Then what happens is that there is a Pakistani poet who is attracted to Noah and who wants to help. and the father goes on inquiring about his son to the truck drivers, whether they saw him and all. And we see the school scene again, and we having a strong debate. So one of the things Noah asked about these Pakistani people is that, is your president is a woman? Her name is Bhutto, and most of these migrants have no idea about who their ruler are, and they are totally ignorant. They say the only thing we are conscious is about survival. We want food, and this Pakistani poet says that he will help her find the speeches of Bhutto, and the next scene is we see a mine blast, a bomb blast happens while the girls are returning from school. As you know, Taliban was against girls going to school, and Meena, the girl who was aggressively supporting the women issue, gets killed. So was they targeted her? We don't know. She's the only girl to get killed in that blast. And what happens is that more refugees come, and they get into the plane in which these people were living, and they again they move into the bombed parliament building. Look at the irony, the bombed parliament building, and they start to live there. Again, the issue of water is there. On the parliament building, a French soldier, a NATO soldier, meets Noha, and Noha tries to speak to him in English. And at that time, the Pakistani poet comes and he becomes the translator. And the soldier asks, who is she? So the Pakistani poet says, she's going to be the next president of Afghanistan. So this man stands in attention and salutes her. So she feels so happy. Then the poet says, let's go and take some photos for this school president election. And taking photo is totally prohibited. And she takes different photos, different poses. And the one with the veil is said as the best photo by the photographer. So his conventional attitude is seen there. And what happens is that this father, Noha's father, realizes that Akbar has got killed in a mine blast. And he is so angry with women not covering their face, not using veil. And he is so angry with even strangers, refugees, where women and men live together. And finally, he decided to leave Kabul. And they travel to the desert. And the baby, it gets so dry, without food, no water, it dies on the journey. But they are not ready to accept the death of the baby. They think that it is so cold. And even the father, he burns the cart so that the baby may get some heat. And on the way, they meet another person who is walking towards Kabul. He is on the way to meet Omar Abdullah to hand over Bin Laden. America attacked Afghanistan, saying that they are keeping Bin Laden there. But Noha's father says he's too late. America has already invaded. At the time of their walking, more helicopters are coming, and the father of Noha, he digs a small hole and he buries the baby. It's a very touching scene. He says, God, what you have given us, you have taken us back. And at that moment, he becomes a kind of atheist. He says, there is no God. The God, if there was a God, why he is troubling us? And finally, at the end of the movie, they walk towards Kandahar, and we hear Noah singing this song at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, because that is a song translated by the Pakistani poet and gives to her behind her photo, saying that she has to practice. Only a speaker can become a president. So he asks her to practice in front of cows, sheep, until she becomes confident. So when on the way, when she rehearses a practice, it gives us a hope that she may attempt to follow her dream later. So it's a wonderful movie, and the movie was both praised and criticized. It was praised as a document on humanity, but some people criticized it as it only shows the negative aspect of a culture, not showing the positive one. And we come up to the last part, the most important part. What are the female tropes? What are the female things that we can find in it? One is the veil, obviously. Veil. Once a woman is veiled, it shows it's conventional. Once she removes, as you know, it's a sign of freedom. Then you will come across a lot of Quran recitals. Even when the girl Meena gets killed, at the time there was a Quran recital, and she has to stop to show worship. At that time, she gets killed. So how it is used in the positive and negative sense. And the white heel shoes. Actually, you can see that there are two sides for this central character Noah. When she wears black, she is conventional. When she wears white, she wants to become the other woman, the real woman of herself. And we see a lot of debates on democracy, the girls debating each other. That shows that women, if they wish, they can reach anywhere. Nothing can stop them. And there is a reference to Benazir Bhutto as a president of a Muslim country. So ultimately, that also shows that religion doesn't prohibit women from reaching anywhere. And her photograph, Noah's photograph, it's another again stands for what you may call a change in perception and attitude, and the questions which will come in between, and you can find the answer. I hope I helped you to understand this one. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in another video. Until then, bye bye.